Hello everyone, I'm Dragons After Dark, and today we're continuing our pet collecting around Azeroth and Beyond series with Desolace, Mulgore, Southern Barrens, and Dustwallow Marsh. We're doing this 100% by zone, which will cover everything from wild pets to achievements, dungeons, quests, rare drops, and so on. During the video, we'll be going over the locations of the pet, different skins, and suggested breeds. Keep in mind for the breeds, it's purely a suggestion on my part, but I will be giving a short explanation on why I'd choose that particular breed. Overall, most pets are filler, so breed isn't super important, and you can always go back and catch another if you find you need a different one, so don't stress too much about it. Also, I will mention if a pet is cageable, so if you don't want to farm for it, you can just stop by your local auction house and grab one. So, let's get started. Desolace is a zone situated between Stone Talon Mountains to the north and Feralis to the south. It is a contested territory between multiple groups, and the wild pet levels will be 7 to 9. The Amethyst Shale Hatchling will be located in the area around Merda, hugging the western mountain range. The Amethyst Shale Hatchling comes in 1 skin and 10 breeds. Because there are so many breeds for this pet, it can be difficult to farm for a specific one. The good news is this pet isn't widely used, so you're likely fine to grab any breed. If you want to get a specific one, I'd either go for the Speed SS breed to use Stone Skin, Sticky Web, and Leech Life, or Power PP breed for Stone Rush and Burn. The Desert Spider can be found sporadically around the zone, with the heaviest concentrations being in the northern and western portions. The Desert Spider comes in 2 skins, brown with green eyes and beige with blue eyes, and 4 breeds. It has the typical spider moveset that you'll see across quite a few pets. In general, I'd say Speed would be your best bet with the SS breed. That way, you can be sure to set up either of the webs and use Spiderling Swarm. However, any breed will likely be fine since this pet is not used very often. The Elfin Rabbit can be found in the area right around the Cenarian wildlands. The Elfin Rabbit comes in 3 skins, white and brown, brown and white, and 2 breeds. A good rule of thumb for rabbits is the faster the better. Its moveset is very suited to speed. It has the potential to give you an extra hit with Flurry, use Dodge for 2 rounds, and Burrow to avoid attacks, so I'd recommend the SB breed. The Forest Moth can be found in the area in and around the Cenarian wildlands. The Forest Moth comes in 4 skins, blue with purple wings, red with green wings, white with black spots, and yellow with blue wings, and 4 breeds. This moth doesn't have any breeds with good speed stats for Alpha Strike, and as a rule I tend to avoid Slicing Wind because of the inherent RNG of the move. Since Cocoon Strike is more common choice over Adrenaline Rush, and given its lack of inherent speed, you might want something with more health like the HS or the HB breeds to keep your flying buff longer. The Horny Toad can be found almost all throughout Desolace. The Horny Toad comes in 3 skins, green with blue stripes, teal with purple stripes, white with blue stripes, and 2 breeds. Because this pet's moveset is shared across quite a few frogs, the stats don't vary widely enough between the breeds to make a difference, and it's not used in many strats, so it's better to spend your time farming for a skin you prefer rather than a breed. This is one of the few zones where the rat can be found as the primary spawn, instead of only as a secondary, random backline pet. If you don't have any luck here, you might need to search the Arathi Highlands, Ashenvale, Hillsbred Foothills, Howling Fjord, or Terrakar Forest. The rat comes in 3 skins, brown, gray, and white, and 4 breeds. Given that most of the breeds are fairly speedy, having any of the ones over 300 speed, SS, HS, or SB, would probably work well. If you're looking for overwhelming speed, go for the SS breed. Survival can pair nicely with Comeback. Flurry will always benefit from speed by giving you a bonus hit. and being faster with Stampede means you can leave 2 rounds of Shattered Defenses on the enemy instead of 1. The red-tailed chipmunk can be found around the Cenarian wildlands. The red-tailed chipmunk comes in 1 skin and 5 breeds. This squirrel isn't used terribly often in battles, but I'd recommend the SS breed. At 325 speed, you're beating out most speed stats of other pets. The sooner you can use crouch before taking any hits, the better. And being faster with Stampede means you can leave 2 rounds of Shattered Defenses on an enemy instead of 1 when the chipmunk dies. You can also stack dots with Wood Chipper and Nut Barrage. The roach can be found just outside of the green area of the Cenarian wildlands to the southwest and northeast. The roach comes in 1 skin and 6 breeds. This is another copy-paste roach moveset, so the 2 breeds I'd look at would depend on what you want to do. If you're using it for Apocalypse, go with the HH to keep your roach alive. Otherwise, I'd grab the Health Speed or HS. It's not as fast as the Speed or SS breed, however it has more health at 1627, 305 speed, and combined with this you can probably overcome anything faster than that. If you're faster, the HS or the SS if you prefer will provide an extra hit for flank, leave your enemy with 2 rounds of Shattered Defenses instead of 1, or enable you to use Survival at the best time for the battle. The Rock Viper can be found just about everywhere throughout Desolace. The Rock Viper comes in 2 skins, black and blue, and 2 breeds. This pet has a typical snake moveset, however it doesn't have fantastic power stats to effectively use Counter-Strike or get a really good build from Vicious Fang, so mostly you'd use it with Burrow and Bite, and maybe setting up Hiss's speed reduction for the next pet. That said, I'd go with the SS for those reasons, but either breed is fine. The small frog can be found around the lake in the northeast portion of the Cenarian wildlands. The small frog comes in 4 skins, light brown with dark brown spots, light green, orange and blue, and lime green with orange feet, and 2 breeds. Neither of the breeds are particularly spectacular, so you'll want to look at power. That leaves us with the Speed Balance breed. This will help with how much your Healing Wave heals for, as well as the building damage of Frog Kiss, or how much your Swarm of Flies dot ticks for, depending on what you're looking to do. The Stone Armadillo can be found in the backwards sea around the Cenarian wildlands, mostly in the dry lake and riverbeds, but also near some of the water sources. This pet will only show up at night in Desolace, and there are conflicting reports on what is considered night. Some say it will change throughout the year, because sunset in-game mirrors the in-real-life seasonal sunset changes. However, it's currently late November, and the ones on my server didn't spawn until after 8 p.m. If the seasonal changes are true, they may be based on Pacific Standard Time, the time zone Blizzard is based out of, sunset times. After going through the comments, I can say the time I saw consistently was after 10 p.m. Chances are, if you see stars, this pet will be spawned. This pet isn't used often in strategies, but of the 3 breeds, I'd suggest the Health Power or HP breed. This will give you power for Scratch and Infected Claw, and you can buff it further with Roar. The Topaz Shell Hatchling can be found around the outside of Maradon, and Wowhead shows that some may also be inside the dungeon or the cave as well. The Topaz Shell Hatchling comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. Since none of the breeds have much in the way of speed, I usually look to Power Knights. That would be the Balance or BB breed, which we don't normally advocate for people to capture. Overall, this pet isn't used very much, if at all. Any breed will likely do, but I'd either grab the Balance or the HH breed for a little more health to help offset the damage from Stone Rush. The Porcupette can drop from the sack of pet supplies with a 0.3% chance. The sack of pet supplies is a pet reward for various pet battle quests, such as the one from Merda Stronghoof. This NPC will only award the pet supply bag once when you defeat her for the first time for the Tamer quest. The Porcupette comes in 1 skin and 1 breed, making this pretty easy. This pet seems to pop up as a drop from most pet supply bag rewards. Not all of them, but a few. It has the typical moveset for a porcupine, but very middle of the road stats. There's not a lot of cohesion between the moves, and it's not used in many strats, making this purely a collector pet. From Wowpedia, Mulgore is a landlocked region, with Desolace to the west, the Barrens to the east, the Stone Talon Mountains to the north, and the Thousand Needles to the south. Mulgore is the ancient homeland of the Tauren, who live on the windswept mesas and roam the grassy valleys. The Gazelle Fawns can be found sporadically all around Mulgore. The Gazelle Fawn comes in one skin and two breeds. This pet has the same moveset you'll find on deer, and as with any pet that has Stampede, you're going to want to look at speed. Both of the breeds have decent speed stats, but since the health and power stats don't vary too widely, I'd go with the speed balance or SB breed. Pets with these movesets can be handy when doing critter family achievements, since Nature's Ward can change their family type. Along with Nature's Ward, it has two other heals, Tranquility and Bleat. Greater speed than your enemy will leave them with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1, and combined with Headbutt can do decent damage. The mouse will only show up as a secondary pet here, making it a little difficult to hunt for specifically. You might have better luck waiting for another zone, like Dustwallow Marsh. The mouse comes in 2 skins, brown and white, and 5 breeds. 3 of the breeds are fairly speedy, and having any of those, SS, ES, or SB, would probably work well. If you're looking for overwhelming speed, go for the SS breed. Having greater speed means you can use survival at a point that's most beneficial for you. It can pair nicely with comeback, and of course Flurry will always benefit from speed by giving you a bonus hit. Greater speed than your enemy will also leave them with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1 when your pet dies. The prairie dog can be found in a few places in mid to northern Mulgore, with the highest concentration being in the far north plains. The prairie dog comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. You might want to go for the speed breed, that way you can use crouch and burrow to your advantage. However, you can also go for the speed balance breed. Then if you're slower, you can leap, then burrow. It's a combo that's kind of fun, since your opponent being faster means they'll miss for 2 rounds, and the speed balance will give you more power over the speed breed. The rabbit will only show up as a secondary pet here, making it a little difficult to hunt for specifically. You might have better luck waiting for another zone like Elwyn Forest, Red Ridge Mountains near Lakeshire, or a couple spots in the Stone Talon Mountains, but your best bet will be Stormwind City proper. This pet comes in 2 skins, brown and white, and 6 breeds. A good rule of thumb for rabbits is the faster the better. Its moveset is very suited to speed, which can give an extra hit to Flurry, an extra round of dodge, burrowing first to avoid damage, and leaving the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1, so I'd recommend either the SS or SB breeds. An SS breed will get you 357 speed with only 227 power, but if you're looking for one that might have a little more oomph, the SB has 322 speed and 240 power. In Mulgore, we have one racial pet vendor, Naleen. She's located just northeast on the outskirts of Bloodhoof Village near the road leading to Thunderbluff. These types of vendors will sell pets based on your character's race. The Black King Snake for Trolls and Orcs, Shore Crawlers for Goblins, the Jade Crane Chicks for Pandarens, Brown Prairie Dogs for Taurens, Golden Dragon Hawk Hatchlings for Blood Elves, and the Undercity Cockroach for the Undead. All of the vendor pets here are cageable. The Black King Snake comes in 1 skin and 1 breed. It is the racial pet for Trolls and Orcs and has the standard snake moveset. The King Snake has 325 speed, which means you can likely use Burrow for avoidance or having a speed advantage to build Vicious Fang. Even if you're not faster, you can use Hiss to decrease the enemy's speed or use Counter Strike while you're slower. As said, this pet is cageable, so you can purchase it on the auction house, but it would probably be easiest to just roll a troll or orc and buy one from a vendor. The Shore Crawler comes in 1 skin, 2 legacy breeds, and 1 current breed. At the moment, you can only purchase this pet in one breed, the Balance breed. The other two breeds were retired in patch 5.2. However, if someone had one of the breeds prior to this change, the pet will remain that breed. This is the racial pet for goblins and has a standard crab moveset. The Jade Crane Chick comes in one skin, one legacy breed, and one current breed. At the moment, you can only purchase this pet in one breed, the Balance breed. The other breed was retired in patch 5.2. However, if someone had the other breed prior to this change, the pet will remain that breed. This is the racial pet for Barrens and has a slightly divergent moveset from flyers with similar movesets. It has Jade Skin, which can be helpful in keeping your flying buff longer by reducing damage, and Flock, which can apply the Shattered Defenses debuff. The Brown Prairie Dog comes in one skin and 3 breeds. This is the racial pet for Taurens. I am not a big fan of vendor pets having multiple breeds, and given the pet isn't particularly unique or spectacular, any of the breeds will be fine. If you really want a specific breed, the Speed breed has a really nice speed stat of 341, which is great for burrow and crouch. The Golden Dragonhawk Hatchling comes in one skin and 2 breeds. This is the racial pet for Blood Elves, and it has the standard Dragonhawk Hatchling moveset. Again, I'm not a big fan of vendors having multiple breeds. However, all the Dragonhawk Hatchlings with the same moveset are going to be vendor pets. Given that the Silver Dragonhawk Hatchling has a much better speed stat with its speed breed, that would be the one I'd focus on. As such, either of the breeds for the Golden Dragonhawk Hatchling will be fine. The Undercity Cockroach comes in one skin and 4 breeds. This is the undead racial pet and has a standard cockroach moveset. Again, we see a vendor pet with multiple breeds for a pet, but most of the time cockroaches are used for Apocalypse. This move requires the pet that casts it to be alive, so you might want to go heavy on the health, but usually you're applying Apocalypse and switching your cockroach out. If you plan on doing more with it, you might want the speed breed to utilize the bonus hit to flank and to apply survival faster. But generally, you won't see much use beyond Apocalypse for these pets, so any breed will do. The Southern Barrens is the term used for the land south of the Great Divide, which is a huge lava-filled chasm created by Deathwing during the Cataclysm. It is a highly contested territory between the Horde and Alliance, and the wild pet level will be 9 to 10. The Adder can be found sporadically south of the Overgrowth. The Adder comes in 3 skins, black, light yellow with black stripes, and dark green with yellow stripes, and 3 breeds. Of the 3 breeds, I'd go with the Power Speed breed. The Balance breed is a good runner-up, but the Power Speed is giving up a little health here to get a speed stat over 300, which means you can use the Adder's moveset in a couple of ways. If you're slower and want to be faster, you can Hiss, and then use Burrow for avoidance, and get more chances to build Vicious Fang, or you can stay slower and use Counter-Strike. The Cheetah Cub will only be found at the northernmost point of the Southern Barrens just before Honor's Stand. The Cheetah Cub comes in 1 skin and 1 breed, making the choice here easy. The Cheetah Cub is a fun little pet to use against critters, and being faster than most general enemies means you can use Pounce, which gets a bonus from being faster. You can use Rake in time with any big hits from an enemy, and you can time Devour to make sure you get a heal when you kill a pet. The Emerald Boa can be found in the north all around the Overgrowth. The Emerald Boa comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds. It has a typical snake moveset, so you can either go for the health speed if you need something faster in your roster for avoidance with Burrow, or the health power if you want to use it to build Vicious Fang and use Counter-Strike. The Giraffe can be found heavily south of the Overgrowth. The Giraffe Calf comes in 1 skin and 2 breeds. Neither of the breeds have a wide variance in stats, so either one is likely fine. The Giraffe Calf has a moveset more typically associated with deer and sheep, which fall under the critter category. So if you need something with critter abilities that won't take that increased damage as a critter, this might be a good option for you. The Prairie Dog can be found heavily south of the Overgrowth. The prairie dog comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. You might want to go for the speed breed, that way you can use crouch and burrow to your advantage. However, you can also go for the speed balance breed. Then, if you're faster, you can leap, then burrow. It's a combo that's kind of fun, since your opponent being faster means they'll miss for 2 rounds, and the speed balance will give you more power over the speed breed. The small frog comes in 4 skins, light brown with dark brown spots, light green, orange and blue, and lime green with orange feet, and 2 breeds. Neither of the breeds are particularly spectacular, so you'll want to look at power, which leaves us with the speed balance breed. This will help with how much your healing wave heals for, as well as the building damage of Frog Kiss, or how much your Swarm of Flies ticks for, depending on what you're looking to do. The Porcupette can drop from the sack of pet supplies with a 0.3% chance. The sack of pet supplies is a reward for various pet battle quests, such as the one from Cassandra Kaboom. This NPC will only award the pet supply bag once, when you defeat her for the first time for the Tamer quest. The Porcupette comes in 1 skin and 1 breed, making this pretty easy. This pet seems to pop up as a drop from most pet supply bag rewards. Not all of them, but a few. It has the typical moveset for a porcupine, but very middle of the road stats. There's not a lot of cohesion between the moves, and it's not used in many strats, making this purely a collector pet. Dustwallow Marsh is a vast and ancient swamp in the eastern reaches of Kalimdor. Although there is little activity in the area, the Alliance and the Horde have recently expanded their influence in the region. The Alliance city-state of Theramore was located on a small island east offshore, but was eventually destroyed by a mana bomb ordered by then War Chief Garrosh Hellscream. The Black Rat can be found east of Mudsprocket and in the Worm Bog. The Black Rat comes in 1 skin and 4 breeds, and it has a pretty decent speed stats for most of the breeds. However, because it has a typical rat-mouse moveset and doesn't come with any speed modifiers, you'll need something like the SS breed with the highest possible base speed. This will make sure you can get the speed bonus hit for Flurry, leave the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1 if you're slower, and use survival to your best advantage, which can pair nicely with comeback. The mouse can be found east of Mudsprocket and in the Worm Bog. The mouse comes in 2 skins, brown and white, and 5 breeds, and it has pretty decent speed stats for most of the breeds. However, just like the Black Rat, it has a typical rat moveset and doesn't come with any speed modifiers, so you'll need something like the SS breed with the highest possible base speed. This will help make sure you can get the speed bonus hit for Flurry, leave the enemy with 2 rounds of shattered defenses instead of 1 if you're slower, and use survival to your best advantage, which can pair nicely with comeback. The snake can be found throughout Dustwallow Marsh, sporadically in the northern portion and far heavier in the southern portion. The snake comes in 4 skins, black, light brown with dark brown stripes, lime green, and red, and 2 breeds. It has the typical snake moveset, so you can either go for the speed if you need something faster in your roster for avoidance with burrow, or the balance if you want to use it to build Vicious Fang and use Counter-Strike. However, aside from the speed stat, the other stats don't vary too widely, so you're fine grabbing either breed. If you need to get faster with the balance breed, you can always slot Hiss. The spawn of Onyxia can be found in the Worm Bog, surrounding the small mountain that is Onyxia's lair. The spawn of Onyxia comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. Given that 2 of the most slotted abilities are Tail Sweep and Healing Flame, and that Tail Sweep gets a bonus damage from being slower, you'll want the Power breed. This pairs especially nice with the Dragonkin damage bonus, since the family gains a 50% damage bonus when they bring an enemy below 50% health. The spider has a few spawn points just south of Onyxia's lair. This pet comes in 2 skins, beige and light green and yellow, and 3 breeds. Spiders are another one of the copy-paste pets where we have quite a few with the same moveset. If you're missing a speedy spider from your roster, I'd say get an SS, or if you already have one, grab an SB to give up a little speed for a little more power and health. The toad can be found all around Dustwallow Marsh with the heaviest concentration in the southern half. The toad comes in 1 skin and 3 breeds. Since none of the breeds have any kind of decent speed, you'll want to look at power, which leaves us with the health power breed. This will help with how much your healing wave heals for, as well as the building damage of Frog Kiss, or how much your Swarm of Flies dot ticks for, depending on what you're looking to do. Dustwallow Marsh has 4 pets that can potentially drop from different sources around the zone: the darting hatchling, the porcupette, the dark whelpling, and the disgusting oozeling. Dart's Nest is the container that will drop the darting hatchling, and it has a few spawn points in the northern portion of the zone just east of Blackhoof Village. The darting hatchling comes in 1 skin and 1 breed and is a drop from Dart's Nest in the zone. It doesn't have much in the way of health, but it has a decent speed and power stat. It isn't the most used of the baby raptors, but if you're looking for something that can increase its speed, has a damage modifier, exposed wounds, paired with a multi-hit ability like flank, then this raptor will be right up your alley. The Porcupette can drop from the sack of pet supplies with a 0.3% chance. The sack of pet supplies is a reward for various pet battle quests, such as the one from Grazzle the Great. This NPC will only award the pet supply bag once, when you defeat him for the first time for the Tamer quest. The Porcupette comes in 1 skin and 1 breed, making this pretty easy. The pet seems to pop up as a drop from most pet supply bag rewards. Not all of them, but a few. It has the typical moveset for a porcupine, but very middle of the road stats. There's not a lot of cohesion between the moves, and it's not used in many strats, making this purely a collector pet. The Searing Whelps and Searing Hatchlings you can farm for the Dark Whelpling Drops can be found south of the Stone Mall Ruins, east of Mud Sprocket, and throughout the Worm Bog. The Dark Whelpling comes in 1 skin, 1 breed, and drops from Searing Whelplings and Searing Hatchlings in the Dustwallow Marsh zone. The Searing Whelps have a 0.16% chance, and the Searing Hatchlings have a 0.12% chance. The Dark Whelpling isn't the most used whelp in strategies. Mostly, you'll want to combine Call Darkness with the Dragonkin racial buff. Since it's slow, this also means you'll probably use Tail Sweep in slot 1, and it's your pick for slot 3. The Oozing bag that contains the disgusting Oozeling drops from acidic swamp oozes, bubbling swamp oozes, and oozeworms in this zone. The acidic swamp oozes and bubbling swamp oozes can be found west across the channel from Faramore Isle and just southeast of Direhorn Post, below the road that bisects the marsh. There are a small number of spawns of the oozeworms that can be found west of the Stone Mall Ruins. The disgusting Oozeling comes in 1 skin, 1 breed, and the Oozing bag that contains the pet drops from acidic swamp oozes, bubbling swamp oozes, and oozeworms in this zone. The acidic swamp oozes have a 0.9% chance, the bubbling swamp oozes have a 0.5% chance, and the oozeworms have a 0.04% chance to drop the bag. The disgusting Oozeling has a mostly typical slime set, and you'll usually see it used against flyers with an acidic goo, corrosion, and ooze touch moveset combo. It's a great way to not only eat through flyers, but other pets as well, especially if it can be combined with Toxic Bite from another pet. And that's it. We've completed our visit to Desolace, Mulgore, the Southern Barrens, and Dustwallow Marsh for pet collecting around Azeroth and beyond. On our next stop, we'll be visiting Thunderbluff. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you for stopping by, and happy battling!